Okay, this is my indispensable tool when drawing portraits, and even though I like my portraits to be a little bit abstract, I like the proportions to be accurate, so I measure, and I often draw my paintings, my drawings on a paper, and then I transfer them to my painting. About this tool, this is called a scale divider, and you can use it to enlarge your reference picture. If you slide this button, or what's it called, I don't know, up and down, you can change the ratio. You can see this one is much larger than if you put it here. I like it to be somewhere in the middle, but it depends on how big you want your portrait to be. I even use it when I don't want to enlarge my painting, but I want it to be the same size, so I measure this part and transfer it to my painting like this. But in this case we're going to enlarge the portrait, and I will show you how I do it. I draw across on both the reference picture and on my paper. Usually I don't press too hard because you will want to maybe to erase it, but for you to see I pressed a little bit harder, and then I start measuring my reference points. I will take a red pencil so you can see what I do. Of course I usually use just charcoal. So I measure from this point to, for example, this point, like a reference point. Flip it over and mark these points here. So you know this is the side of the head. You have to be a bit more accurate, yes. And then you take another point, for example here, the hair and the... I'm always measuring from the middle, well, almost always. Flip it over and then put your reference point here. And same for the chin. And then you can start drawing, and you can always measure more points. I will measure the eyes and the nose and the mouth as well. And if you want to, for example, know how wide this chin is, you take another reference point. Swap it over. And of course you can take as many reference points as you want. You will see that if you practice this often, you need less and less points. Or if you don't mind if it's not too accurate. That's a good point. If you know, maybe you know, to want to have this point, you can measure from the middle line. So it should be somewhere here. It's a bit bigger. Yes. And then from the horizontal line, this way, you know exactly where this point is. So this one was a bit too high. And now we will do, for example, the nose. If you want to know where the edge of the nose is, you measure like this, flip it over. And check from this side. It's about the same, so it's much higher. So this was wrong, but so you know the edges of the nose. You know where the shadow is. Well, you can measure forever. And of course you don't have to, because if you're happy about the drawing, there where the eyebrow starts. You see that it's much higher. Okay, I think you get the idea. Like, well, we can do the mouth, and then I think you understand how I use this magical tool. Flip it over and draw your reference. You really have to be sure that this is lined up, because sometimes if you're working with it, it might change a bit. And then you want to know the corner of the mouth. So you measure here. Flip it over. Just a little bit lower. Okay, so this is how I use my scale divider when I'm drawing the portraits. I find it quite a magical tool, and I hope it will help you in your drawings.